Hi everyone, BC here in this post-Arcane Nexus wasteland. I'll try to keep this quick. Got a COVID shot yesterday, so not really in the mood to uh, focus on too much here. Um, Magic sites, found some nice. Um, Another global, so they're just fighting over Eternal Pyre, which is fine with me. Sent some horrors in after Asphodel just for the fuck of it. And got some kills, I guess. Um, More blood hunting. Uh, Asphodel attacked me in Durlin. This is a good battle to watch. So here, uh, Asphodel has a couple of Panic Apostates loaded up with gems. And then some of these centaurs, some crocodiles, and puppies. AI doing what it does and just throwing a bunch of centaur gems at the situation and hoping something good happens. Who is Stymphos? Yeah, he cast Primal Power. So Asphodel has Primal Power, which buffs all of their animals as a national spell. And I have one of my dudes has a staff that has Primal Power for me. So interestingly, all of these spider people are not animals, but things like these chimeras and stuff are, and the Gog Reavers are. So I've got some kitties, some cockatrices, reavers, and then a communion in the middle. And the goal was to have the Dracolions not rush in and get killed, which they're about to do, and have these foul spawn kind of enact some initial hurting while the basilisks and such breathe from behind them. Unfortunately, as you can see here, the basilisks were too far back, which led to a lot of friendly fire. Now the chimeras did hold and wait before flying in, so that went well. I guess maybe I don't have a choice with Dracolion. I don't remember if they're undisciplined. But as soon as the basilisks get in position again, you're going to see some more friendly fire going off. There was one right there. That's the tricky thing about basilisks. They're powerful units, but you have to position them just right so that they actually get some kills in. And then at this point we just run them over because we've got them well outnumbered. So the ultimate score of that battle was that I successfully repelled them, destroyed all of their mages. I lost my 2 communion slaves, and several of my good spawn, and half of my reavers, which is just unnecessary. Like, it's not a huge loss, but it's unnecessary. And the reason is because the basilisks got 60 kills, and they were not all on the enemies. So that was the thing that happened. Sure where these retreats went. Yeah, I guess we just have some random kitties. Well, cockatrice here. Why not? You come with cannibals for free. You go with money. Everyone needs a bodyguard. Cockatrice. There's no way that this could end badly. Cockatrice is definitely gonna petrify my own dude. But whatever. So my remaining guys are storming the castle. We've got new communion slaves appointed. Let's go ahead and set. Yeah, you can just go with him. Is that the last undisciplined lion? I guess you go with those guys. Or disciplined lion, I meant to say. Yeah, so let's put the basilisks out in front. They move slowly enough that they shouldn't be too far ahead of everybody else. And then, like, when they start breathing and everyone else continues to close, they should still be able to do more damage there. Make those numbers a little more even. That's close enough. We'll go ahead and storm the castle. We've still got plenty of dudes to march through and pick up these forts and stuff. It's just annoying to have so many friendly fires from those basilisks, which basilisks are powerful units. I just didn't quite plan that correct. Ashdod beating up Uruk with a shit ton of Anakites. This was... yeah. Let's go ahead and watch super combatants do super combatant things, just because making super combatants is fun. This one is money. So we can go ahead and get another look at him after his buffs arrive. He got off regen, resist magic, and he was not able to finish Barkskin. So this is all the protection he's going to have. He's taking a lot of hits, but all the lance charges are done with. We've got 2 entangle effects happening on nearby dudes, because there's both the Shield of Soft Earth and the Vine Shield. Regen 20% is going to... oh, actually, he's got a Dominion penalty, so that's as high as he's going to get. Magic resistance of 22 is working to keep him from falling asleep from the sleep aura. Unfortunately, he's locked in melee now, so he's not going to come back and cast Barkskin later. What did he cast? Regen, resist magic, Barkskin. I guess that's the order he has to do it in. We just have to hope that he actually gets Barkskin off. Regardless, he was able to take on this crew like a champ. His defense, even when being harassed, is still 24, which is enough to just... well, all these guys are blind, so they went blind off of his attacks. But yeah, and I think that defense helped carrying him quite a bit. So yeah, this is a solid super combatant build. Lots of people worry about Mind Duel for Astral Pretenders, which this guy does not have to worry about Mind Duel. 4 Astral is not going to be Mind Dueled by a bunch of cheap dudes, not effectively. Which doesn't even matter versus Asphodel, but just in case someone was wanting to try out this build. So yeah, end score there, he killed, well, 102 dudes died, 89 by his hand. And I'm thinking I'll pop him in this corner, and maybe that'll make the centaurs take just enough longer that he can, yeah, to do with this cockatrice. Because I don't want the cockatrice to breathe on my own dude. Like, that's an actual thing to worry about. Whatever. I'll try fire and keep distance. We'll see. It probably won't work, because the centaurs are just too fast. In which case I'm just losing cockatrice. That's dumb. No cockatrice. Maybe PD from cockatrice will just randomly kill some Asphodel raiders. That'd be pretty cool. So that was in Tephalia. In Karnag, Vanderlog moved in, so we can see what they brought to the table. I've just got PD, so like obviously they're gonna wipe me out. But they've got Kinara, no gems, some Gandharvas in the back, some Tiger Riders, and I guess they recruited some Indie Nightmares, which, I mean, Nightmares are good units, although I think they cost like $100 a piece, which is quite expensive. They've been summoning a lot of these chariots, which they've got 3 attacks, so that's cool. And oh, they're size 6. I didn't even realize they were that big. Maybe I should use chariots in my Vanderlog game. So we can see this scripting, and it's just communion into enslave, which makes sense. What have you been casting? Body ethereal. That's such a waste at this point. Although it does work versus me, so maybe it's not a waste. Fanaticism. He's got the Clam of Pearls, so in an actual battle, he would almost certainly quicken these guys. And these Gandharvas are monstrously good. In addition to picking up the Rainbow Bless, they have 2 attacks. There's that National Quicken spell. You notice that their Bless is back online, and that is because over here they resummoned their god, which says, for one thing, that they have a ton of priests to call him back instantly. But hey, that's a bunch of priests that spent a turn preaching rather than doing other stuff. So I'm not ready to fight this force yet, so I'm retreating back a step and gathering forces here in Aldgold, where I'll also be putting together some supplies, because I'm running low on those. And then the goal will be to basically get my own communion in the area, and I'm thinking that, well, maybe fire elementals won't work the best against them. Maybe Skell Spam and Rigor Mortis. I don't have Rigor Mortis yet because I'm working on blood magic. I can still do Skell Spam, but some of those dudes will just eat through skeletons. I've got to consider. But I've got a couple of turns to think about that, because I do have quite a lot of siege defense here. Yeah, each of these lions is 0.6. Each of these doggos is 0.6. This huge fire-breathing dude is bigger. So my hope, because like the Gandharvas are nasty, but they didn't actually send that many dudes. We got 230 dudes. They've got a huge communion, don't get me wrong. I've got 200 dudes here, 80 dudes here, 125 dudes here, plus I've got more dudes on the way from up here. So I'm thinking that I'll basically I'll set everybody to all-out attack, and the goal will be to inflict as many casualties before the communion gets a bunch of like enslaves and stuff off, because they have to spend a turn communioning up, and during that time I'll Alpha Strike. They won't have their Bless up yet because they cast Divine Blessing turn 2 with the communion, and so dogs and dogs, and let's go ahead and look at their formation again. Yeah, these guys have defense 17, which is and protection 12, neither of which are enough to stand up to a bunch of berserking dogs and lions just tearing their face off. So the goal will be to really just rush forward with a bunch of dudes, cause casualties on these guys, and then, only then, their communion will be online, but some guys will start taking morale checks, and we'll see where that goes there. Also got some clockwork soldiers, which are definitely a nuisance. They only get 5 turns of clockwork soldiers, and they only got like a dozen of them, so yeah, that'll be the plan. It's not a very good plan, but it is a plan. Oh, and all of my dogs are going to get +4 strength from my staff, which I'm going to have to make sure I have. That's happening there. More destruction over here in Agenor. Vanderlog attacked where my lions attacked over here in Plane of Memories. So we can see what a raiding squad from Vanderlog looks like. And it's just a Kanara and a bunch of Gandharvas, which is like, this squad could easily kill my lions, so that was a logical choice for a squad. Abyssia took another swing at them, and this time finished them off. You can go ahead and watch. So we've got a line of lava warriors, and then some dragons in the back. Would they just cast liquid flames of rocks? And these are not like actual dragons, these are just dudes that call themselves dragons. These guys are all blessed up with tons of shock resistance, reinvig, regen, and awe. Regen's likely from their bless, aw's from their national spell that gives their bless awe. Maybe aw's from their bless, but I don't know why you would take awe on your bless as Abyssia when you can just get it with the alteration enchantment. Shooting a bunch of fire at these guys actually does work, because despite the fact that they can dish out the flame, they can't take it. The flame bows are doing nothing against Abyssia, as you'd expect. What have you been... Oh! You have the Immaculate Shield. Well, I guess Abyssia has the Immaculate Shield now. It's just summoning Ghost Wolves. Lightning Bolt would actually work... Well, could actually work were it not for the 15 shock resistance. So... a human playing Iram would probably have just summoned a bunch of air elementals. But AI Iram just marches into the slaughter. Keeps trying lightning bolts. Alright, so the end score with that, we saw it earlier. Abyssia lost all their basic bitches and a fifth of their lava warriors, but finally wiped out that thorn at their side. I got attacked by birds, and I forgot to PD up enough for it, and my floating eyes were not enough to kill the birds. So that's annoying. These birds don't even have any skills. They just... fucking birds. So I'm gonna have to deal with that, which I'm just sending in a bunch of foul spawn and we can have a crap off. Locust's Earth Gnome, which I've geared him out as a thug and he's going to get to work. Earth Gnomes have naturally 0 encumbrance, which is nice because that means I can give him quickness, and ordinarily like this would be a death sentence on a thug. All this encumbrance and double melee fatigue, but not on a gnome, so that should work well. He has He's probably not going to get this whole script off, but Earth Power, Iron Skin, and Iron Will should be enough. Let's see. Fertility Cult. Birds in Tesiphon, Cymbeline, Blizzard, Brigands. It's gonna be spooky in a few months. We already saw that. Vanarus attacked Ashdod. How did that happen? Like, this was in the events phase. Oh, they were discovered. They discovered the sneaking force of Oathbounds. Killed those birds. Got some scouts. Got a scout caught. And then all this stuff. So movement for this turn. Sorry, I said this would be a short one, but I want to show off those cool battles. We're moving these guys in. We're sending these guys into the basement. Shiniyama has not actually deployed versus me yet, so I'll just gather forces at Mines of Fortune and try to hold that point. At the very least, if I have a scary enough force, then maybe Shiniyama will just keep feeding dudes to the meat grinder upstairs. I'm hoping that that's what they do. And still need to iterate on my plan for dealing with Vanderlog here, because they've got a lot of mages, and so that's a whole lot of communion, and they've got fire resist and heat aura. The cold aura doesn't matter because it's hot outside. So, alright, that should cover it for this turn. Next turn, I'm going to have Scoregraphs on Relay, so we'll see exactly how they got to such high levels of research, and that'll be exciting. So I'll see you on turn 53.